Picture yourself in your relationship. Everything is flawless. You're happily engaged to the most stunning and amazing woman in the world. Each morning, you wake up next to her with a smile on your face. You both prepare for the day together, perfectly in sync. And as you leave for work, she gives you a loving kiss on the cheek and tells you she loves you. You leave for your job, content, happy. You have no idea that is the last time you'll ever see the love of your life. The last time you will speak to her. She will never appear in your life ever again, and you are absolutely clueless. Well, that's exactly what happened to 22-year-old Jamie when he said goodbye to his 23-year-old fiancée Alice on an ordinary Friday morning. Little did he know he had just kissed and waved goodbye to her for the very last time. He was oblivious to the fact that he would never see her again. Jamie and Alice experienced a classic tale of love at first sight. They found themselves head over heels within 2 weeks of meeting each other, moved in together after 2 months, and were engaged within 6. Jamie willingly left his rent-controlled bachelor pad to accommodate a larger apartment for Alice's art studio. They worked in different roles within the same industry and earned similar salaries and shared all expenses equally. Their relationship seemed like a perfect match, with Jamie being logical and reserved, while Alice embodied a free-spirited artist. Their love thrived for 4 years until unexpected events unfolded. Assisting Alice in packing for her trip to Comic-Con in NYC, where she served as an expositor, Jamie drove her to the airport under seemingly normal circumstances on a chilly Friday morning. She was scheduled to be back in 4 days' time. However, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday passed with no word from Alice. Jamie tried calling her multiple times, but her phone went straight to voicemail. He called her friends, colleagues, and family, but no one had heard from her. Panic started to set in as he imagined the worst-case scenarios. On Tuesday morning, Jamie woke up early and drove to the airport. He hoped that something might have happened that prevented her from communicating, and when she arrived at the airport, she'd be anxiously waiting for him with an explanation, and they would have a laugh about it, go home together, and everything would be okay. Alice's scheduled flight arrived. Jamie waited impatiently with a lump in his throat. She did not walk off the plane, and his heart sank. Jamie waited for 3 more hours at the baggage claim area just in case. Alice was a no-show. He went back home to think. He tried again to contact her somehow. He froze and panic set in as he realized he was blocked on all forms of contact. Phone calls didn't go through, and he could no longer access or even see any of her social accounts. Jamie realized he had been thoroughly and methodically removed from Alice's life. Jamie sat alone in the dimly lit living room, his mind clouded with confusion and hurt. Their once warm and vibrant apartment now felt like a hollow shell, mirroring his own empty heart. How could she do this to him? They were supposed to be partners, soulmates even, but now he was left with nothing but emptiness and unanswered questions. Memories of their laughter and shared dreams haunted him, mocking the reality that his fiancée had effortlessly erased him from her life. He couldn't help but wonder if he had missed some glaring sign, some hidden truth that would explain her sudden departure. The ache in his chest was unbearable. The only remnants of Alice were a stack of unpaid bills, a joint credit card that Alice had stopped paying towards 2 months prior, and her cell phone bill, which Jamie was able to access as it was under his social security number. Alice had attended the San Diego Comic-Con earlier in the year. Perusing the call history, he noticed a recurring NYC area code since that date. He connected the dots that Alice might have met someone at San Diego Comic-Con and orchestrated a plan to leave him for another guy in New York City. Too late, Jamie discovered Alice had maxed out their joint credit card and Amazon card to furnish her new home in NYC. He was overwhelmed by the financial fallout and emotional trauma of being ghosted by his fiancée. Despite losing over $7,000, Jamie refrained from legal action. He would have gladly paid that amount twice over if he could just get an answer to his question. Why? The lack of closure and understanding haunted him more than the financial losses. Unable to afford their shared lifestyle on a single income, Jamie had to abandon their apartment for cheaper accommodation, and he entered a dark period in his life filled with self-destructive behavior. He drank himself stupid, used Tinder to numb the pain, and wrestled daily with self-hatred. The sense of betrayal and the financial burden took its toll on both his mind and body. It took him months to dig himself out of debt and pay back the credit cards. While Jamie harbored no hatred toward Alice, Her actions shattered his self-worth and trust. The unanswered questions and absence of closure lingered, leaving him devastated. He viewed Alice as a coward for not providing a simple explanation or saying anything before abandoning him and their life together. Jamie struggled to comprehend where he went wrong as a partner and a man, questioning his own actions constantly. After a year had passed, Jamie found himself sitting alone in a cramped apartment that he had moved into to start anew. In all that time, Alice had still not reached out. The weight of the previous 12 months bore heavily on his heart. Despite his efforts to move forward and rebuild his shattered life, the wounds remained deep. Jamie sought solace in solitude, afraid of letting anyone else in for fear of reopening the raw scars left behind by Alice. At only 23 years old, he already felt like a 100-year-old man. He sat there, isolated and broken, and wondered if things would ever get better. As we wrap up Jamie's story, it's hard not to feel angry at Alice for her heartless behavior. Her betrayal was a calculated and cold departure from Jamie's life that leaves a bitter taste. If Alice's actions touch a nerve or you've been through something similar, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more raw and honest stories about the human experience. Let's create a community where we can talk about all facets of relationships and betrayal. Join the gang by subscribing now. Thank you for sticking it out to the end, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.